Good morning and welcome to today's Smart Business Strategies podcast. I am Anna Wilds, the Franchise Economist, and I am thrilled to have you here today. Joining us is special guest Zach Munro with Stellar Service Brands. Zach, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Anna, for having me. Looking forward to it.
All right, start us off by sharing with the audience a little bit about you and Restoration One.
Absolutely. So again, for the audience, my name is Zach Munro. I'm a former collegiate and professional golfer who's been in the Fran Dev world for 11 years now. Restoration One, we are part of Stellar Service Brands, and we specialize in water, fire, and mold remediation. Essentially, we're helping people restore their homes and businesses after disaster strikes. Our owners, they take pride in serving their communities when people need it the most.
Well, that is certainly a very worthwhile and needed service and an essential service as well. Zach, we both know, we've both been in franchising a long time, there are other restoration franchises. So share with the audience what makes Restoration One unique or different.
Absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, this brand's been around since 2008, so it's got some staying power. Unlike many restoration brands that rely on insurance networks, we teach our franchise owners to build local relationships with plumbers, property managers, realtors, local insurance agents, et cetera, which ultimately gives them more control over revenue and margins. Superpower is definitely our team. The executive team has over 100 years of franchise experience, and then the operation field-based teams for Restoration One, they have 100 years of experience in the restoration business specifically.
That is impressive. That really is. Take a little bit of time to explain to the audience about the amazing training that you provide your franchisees.
Absolutely.
Because I think that's another secret sauce of yours.
Yeah, no, the training is, I've gone through the training myself. It's fantastic. We really revamped the training program middle of 2024, last year. Really focused on making sure that a candidate's ready to go right out of the gate, teeing them up for success, you could say. After someone signs on, they'll work with Angie on my team to get all the administrative stuff out of the way. So then they can start working with Melissa, our director of training. And she's really their growth coach leading up to opening and then 6 to 9 months after they've been open. Training is a mandatory minimum of 118 hours. Roughly 80 of that is in person, spread across technical training and then ultimately business training in our Dallas brand new corporate office, which is opening next week, which we're really excited about. 12,000 square foot office, training facility, the whole 9 yards. So we're excited about that. It'll just elevate our training even higher than it already is.
All right. Well, this is a beautiful lead into the next question. So who makes an ideal candidate for your brand? Do you need to come from a certain work background or industry to be successful? Do you need to come from construction or restoration or anything like that?
Absolutely not. No experience needed. We're going to handle all the technical training. So don't worry about that. Our best owners are those strong leaders and problem solvers. I need 3 things. I got 3 boxes I need to check with the candidate before I would sign off on them. And that's 1, strong work ethic, 2, proven problem solving ability, and 3, ability to delegate, because ultimately they don't do the work.
All right. So that is a beautiful lead in to describe the role of the owner. How is he or she spending their time on a daily basis?
Yeah, daily basis. I always like to joke that our owners, their polos are not getting dirty. Owners need the business, not the cleanup. They manage teams, they build local partnerships, and they drive growth. It's all about leadership, customer service, and ultimately that community relationships that you're building, not swinging the hammer.
And also creating the culture for the organization to attract and retain good workers.
Absolutely. That's probably, if you ask any of our franchisees that are seasoned 4, 5, 6 years into it now, their favorite part about the business, and they'll tell you the people that they get to employ.
Mm-hmm. And what I really love about the business too is I get a lot of corporate professionals who do not want to be tied to a desk. They don't want to look at a computer screen any longer. They absolutely cannot take it.
Mm-hmm.
And there are even people who they really feel lonely and isolated working from home. They love the flexibility of remote work, but they just miss connecting with people. So I immediately think of restoration. You're out and about, you're meeting people, you're connecting with folks in your community, you're helping people in time of need, you're nurturing relationship. I mean, you're out and about. It sounds fun. You know what I mean?
Very fun, yes.
Yeah, so that's wonderful. All right, so let's talk, give us a couple of examples of people who've come from, say, the corporate world, who've become a successful franchisee, just to really hit home the point. You really, truly do not need to come from restoration or construction or anything like that.
Yeah, I'll give the example of a guy named Tom up in Connecticut that he's actually adding an additional territory here in the next week or so. He's a single unit operator. He's been doing it for 7 years. Just your standard corporate guy is how he would explain himself. That he did one thing right, and it's really the only thing you have to do right, is that's listen and follow the playbook. And he did it to me, and really focused on his strengths and hired for what he wasn't good at, or not only what he wasn't good at, but what he didn't want to do. So now he just does what he wants to do, which is, and he follows the model. So that's key. Some of our top franchisees are going to be those first responders, top franchisee background as a firefighter. So all over the gamut. Ladies and gentlemen do well in this business. It's not just one or the other.
And also, I'm a veteran, so I know you mean veterans as well.
Yes. Yes, very much so.
Yeah, very much so. And explain to the audience why that is. People are really, I think, surprised when I share that there is such an amazingly strong correlation between people with military experience and success as franchise business owners. I mean, it's like almost 1-to-1. I mean, it's just amazing.
Well, I mentioned it. It's process. It's process and playbook. If they were successful in that world as a veteran, they're going to be successful here as long as they apply that same level of diligence to this. They're going to do great. And ultimately, they get to serve a bigger purpose than just themselves.
I'll tell you what, I speak from experience. They're mission oriented. You don't stop ever until the mission is accomplished. I mean, ever. It's just who you're trained to be and who you are. I mean, I've heard other franchisors say, "Oh, we just need people with grit. People aren't going to give up. People are going to see through the tough times, the challenging times." It's like, well, hello. What do you think people in the military do? Right? So they're great. And the same with first responders. So extra kudos to them. All right, now let's talk about the labor model. So do you use subcontractors? Do you use employees? Do you help with recruiting and training of the labor force? What are their backgrounds? How do you find them? When do you add them? All those sorts of questions, because I get them all the time as a franchise consultant. What about the employees? I understand my role, but where do I get these people? I've never done this before, right? I've never hired the trades. I've never hired blue collar workers or hourly workers. So speak to that for the audience, Zach.
Yeah, no, it's the number one question I get as well. And it's pretty simple. I'll answer your first question. They are W-2 employees. Just due to the nature of our operation, we are telling them where they have to work and when they have to work. So by definition, they're W-2. To start out, a owner is going to just have one technician, maybe two, but normally one, and then a business development manager. This is the salesperson that's driving local sales from day one. So them plus two and one van. We help. We've got many different hiring tools, job templates, and ultimately all that comes with Melissa, our director of training, during onboarding. the training programs that we have, even past onboarding, there's so many of them, and they're all included. And they're not only for owners, right? We have sales training for BDMs that you can send your BDM to. We've got a lot of different options at franchisees' fingertips just to make the onboarding process of new employees go really quickly. Typically, in the beginning, for your technicians, you're hiring people that are smarter than you, right? That's my number one tip today. Hire people smarter than you. So they've been in the business for a while. That could be anywhere from 2 to 10 plus years, right? Make sure your first couple of hires are those a little bit more experienced technicians. Then we can take a flyer on somebody a little bit newer to the business, because that minute-to-minute training can be handled by a more senior technician. The business development manager, this is a salesperson, right? They're a relationship builder. To get in front of a local insurance agent like Bob Smith State Farm, there's typically going to be a gatekeeper, and they have to be charming, right? And have the tactical ability to build that relationship to ultimately get to that referral source that might be behind a closed door.
Well, you just described my son who just started his career in B2B sales.
We're looking to hire.
Well, before I go on to the next question, I just really want to underscore for the audience how hugely important and what a differentiator your training is, not just for the owner who comes, I got a dog, who doesn't come from this background, and for the salespeople and the technicians. That is just massive. That is so important. So kudos to y'all. All right, this show is called Smart Business Strategies. What is a smart business strategy that Restoration One uses that you'd really like to share with the audience, Zach?
Yeah, I gave one, and that tip number one is hire people smarter than you. Tip number two is more so related to our business with Restoration One, and that's build your network before the storm hits.
There you go.
Our most successful owners, they stay connected year round with their local referral partners using simple CRM tools and consistent follow-up techniques that we teach during training. That way, when the emergencies happen, we're the only person that they're thinking about.
Zach, very good point. Now we're out of time. So if someone does want to learn more about Restoration One or any of the Stellar Service brands, what do you suggest they do?
Contact a stellar consultant like Anna yourself.
Thank you for that.
Have a couple conversations with Anna, just so that there's a good foundation for franchising, what it's all about, what it takes in general, and then she can get you connected with myself or my team, and we'll take you through a 6 to 8 week due diligence process that starts a lot with education. And in the middle, there's a lot of conversations with existing franchisees. That's my favorite part. And then ultimately culminating, coming out to Dallas to see our new office and meet our team before signing on and going through the 8 to 12 week onboarding process.
Well, I tell you what, I totally agree. The proof's in the pudding when you talk to franchisees. You're going to hear firsthand from people who put their own hard-earned money on the line and made an investment in themselves and being business owners, and the stellar results they can get with Restoration One. So it's really a great opportunity for the right folks. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here, Zach. Audience, this is Zach Munro with Restoration One, a Stellar Service brand. Thank you, Zach.
Thanks, Anna, for having me.
You are more than welcome. And audience, thank you for joining us. And be sure to come back next Wednesday at noon for another 15 minutes with another compelling franchise. This one is in the exploding area of wellness franchises. Oh my goodness, it seems like weekly I hear about yet another amazing wellness franchise. So tune in next Wednesday at noon, set an alarm, make it a priority to be here. I'll see you next week. I'm Anna Wilds, the Franchise Economist, and be wildly wealthy in all areas of your life. Bye-bye.